The 81st United States Congress was a meeting of the legislative branch of the United States federal government, composed of the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. It met in Washington, D.C. from January 3, 1949, to January 3, 1951, during the fifth and sixth years of Harry S. Truman's presidency. The apportionment of seats in this House of Representatives was based on the 16th Census of the United States in 1940. Both chambers had a Democratic majority. Major events. January 20, 1949, President Harry S. Truman began his second only full term. August 16, 1949, Office of Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff created. January 21, 1950, accused communist spy Alger Hiss was convicted of perjury. January 31, 1950, President Truman ordered the development of the hydrogen bomb, in response to the detonation of the Soviet Union's first atomic bomb in 1949. June 27, 1950, Korean War, President Truman ordered American military forces to aid in the defense of South Korea. Major legislation. June 20, 1949, Central Intelligence Agency Act, ch. 227, 63 Stat. 208, 50 U.S.C. Section 403A. October 25, 1949, Hospital Survey and Construction Amendments of 1949, ch. 722, Pub. L. 81–380, 63 Stat. 898. October 26, 1949, Fair Labor Standards Amendment, ch. 736, Pub. L. 81–393, 63 Stat. 910, 29 U.S.C. ch. 8. October 31, 1949, Agricultural Act of 1949, ch. 792, 63 Stat. 1051. May 5, 1950, Uniform Code of Military Justice, ch. 169, 64 Stat. 109. May 10, 1950, National Science Foundation Act, ch. 171, Pub. L. 81–507, 64 Stat. 149, 42 U.S.C. ch. 16. September 8, 1950, Defense Production Act of 1950, Pub. L. 81–774, 64 Stat. 798. September 12, 1950, Budget and Accounting Procedures Act of 1950, ch. 946, 64 Stat. 832. September 23, 1950, McCarran Internal Security Act including Subversive Activities Control Act of 1950, ch. 1024, 64 Stat. 987, 50 U.S.C. Section 781. September 30, 1950, Performance Rating Act, ch. 1123, 64 Stat. 1098. August 15, 1950, Omnibus Medical Research Act, Pub. L. 81–692, 64 Stat. 443 including Public Health Services Act amendments, which established the National Institute of Neurological Diseases and Blindness. December 29, 1950, Seller-Kefauver Act Anti-Merger Act, ch. 1184, 64 Stat. 1125. January 12, 1951, Federal Civil Defense Act of 1950, ch. 1228, 64 Stat. 1245 codified in 50 U.S.C. App. Here 1. Treaties. July 21, 1949, North Atlantic Treaty ratified, establishing the North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO). Hearings. May 11, 1950, Kefauver Committee hearings into U.S. organized crime began. Party summary. Senate. House of Representatives. Leadership. Senate. President, vacant until January 20, 1949. Alban W. Barkley D. from January 20, 1949. Majority Democratic leadership. Majority Leader, Scott W. Lucas. Majority Whip, Francis J. Myers. Caucus Secretary, Brian McMahon. Minority Republican leadership. Minority Leader, Kenneth S. Wherry. Minority Whip, Leverett Saltonstall. Conference Chairman, Eugene Milliken. Republican Conference Secretary, Milton Young. National Senatorial Committee Chair, Styles Bridges. Policy Committee Chairman, Robert A. Taft. House of Representatives. Speaker, Sam Rayburn D. Majority Democratic leadership. Majority Leader, John W. McCormick. Majority Whip, J. Percy Priest. Caucus Chairman, Francis E. Walter. Caucus Secretary, Chase G. Woodhouse. Democratic Campaign Committee Chairman, Michael J. Kirwan. Minority Republican leadership. Minority Leader, Joseph W. Martin, Jr. Minority Whip, Leslie C. Arons. Conference Chair, Roy O. Woodruff. Caucuses. House Democratic Caucus. Senate Democratic Caucus. Members. Senate. Senators are popularly elected statewide every 2 years, with 1/3 beginning new 6-year terms with each Congress. Senators are ordered first by state, and then by seniority. Preceding the names in the list below are Senate class numbers, which indicate the cycle of their election. In this Congress, Class 3 meant their term ended with this Congress, requiring re-election in 1950, Class 1 meant their term began in the last Congress, requiring re-election in 1952, and Class 2 meant their term began in this Congress, requiring re-election in 1954. House of Representatives. Changes in membership. The count below reflects changes from the beginning of this Congress. Senate. House of Representatives. Committees. Lists of committees and their party leaders, for members House and Senate of the committees and their assignments, go into the official congressional directory at the bottom of the article and click on the link 2 links. In the directory after the pages of terms of service, you will see the committees of the Senate, House standing with subcommittees, select and special and joint, and after the committee pages, you will see the House, Senate committee assignments in the directory. On the committees section of the House and Senate in the official congressional directory, the committee's members on the first row on the left side shows the chairman of the committee and on the right side shows the ranking member of the committee. Senate. Agriculture and Forestry, Appropriations, Banking and Currency, District of Columbia, Expenditures in Executive Departments, Finance, Foreign Relations, Interior and Insular Affairs, Subcommittee on Internal Security, Interstate and Foreign Commerce, Judiciary, Labor and Public Welfare, Organized Crime in Interstate Commerce Select, Post Office and Civil Service, Public Works, Remodeling the Senate Chamber Special, Small Business Select, Small Business Enterprises Special. Whole. Topic: House of Representatives. Agriculture, Appropriations, Banking and Currency, District of Columbia, Education and Labor, Expenditures in the Executive Departments, Foreign Affairs, House Administration, Merchant Marine and Fisheries, Post Office and Civil Service, Public Lands, Public Works, Rules, Small Business Select, Standards of Official Conduct, Un-American Activities, Veterans Affairs, Ways and Means. Whole. Joint Committees. Atomic Energy, Conditions of Indian Tribes Special, Defense Production, Disposition of Executive Papers, Foreign Economic Cooperation, Economic, Labor Management Relations, Legislative Budget, The Library, Navajo Hopi Indian Administration, Printing, Reduction of non-essential federal expenditures, Taxation. Employees. Legislative branch agency directors. Architect of the Capitol, David Lynn. Attending Physician of the United States Congress, George Calver. Comptroller General of the United States, Lindsay C. Warren. Librarian of Congress, Luther H. Evans. Public Printer of the United States, John J. Deviney. Senate. Chaplain, Peter Marshall, Presbyterianism until February 3, 1949. Frederick Brown Harris, Methodist, starting February 3, 1949. Parliamentarian, Charles Watkins. Secretary, Leslie Biffle. Sergeant at Arms, Joseph C. Duke. Topic: House of Representatives. Chaplain, James Shira Montgomery, Methodist. Bernard Braskamp, Presbyterian. Clerk, Ralph R. Roberts. Doorkeeper, William Mosley Miller. Parliamentarian, Louis Deschler. Postmaster, Finis E. Scott. Reading Clerks, N. A. R. and N. A. D. Sergeant at Arms, Joseph H. Callahan. See also: United States elections, 1948 elections leading to this Congress. United States presidential election, 1948. United States Senate elections, 1948 and 1949. United States House of Representatives elections, 1948. United States elections, 1950 elections during this Congress, leading to the next Congress. United States Senate elections, 1950. United States House of Representatives elections, 1950. External links. House of Representatives Session Calendar for the 81st Congress PDF. Official Congressional Directory for the 81st Congress, First Session. Official Congressional Directory for the 81st Congress, Second Session.